start first. So g of 4, that means our x-coordinate is 4. So x-coordinate is 4 right here. We are looking for the g of x coordinate that goes with it, which is going to be the 1 right here. So we've got f of 1 is what we'll be looking for. And then on this table, that means now my x-coordinate is 1, and I'm looking for the f value that goes with that, which is going to be right here. So that is going to equal 1 for that. Okay, try the next one. Try finding g of f of 3 on your own. Okay, so we've got f of 3, which is going to be, f of 3 is going to be 1, so that means we're finding g of 1 and g of 1. We have over here 1, g of 1 would be 4, so 4 would be our answer here. Okay, everybody okay with those questions? All right, let's look at a couple of those things. Okay, so we've got f of x equals x squared minus 4x, and we're supposed to find f of t plus 2. So whenever we're doing this, that means we're taking t plus 2, and we're plugging it in for our x right here. So f of t plus 2 is going to equal t plus 2 squared minus 4 times t plus 2. Technically, this is like a correct answer here. That we could stop here, but on the worksheet you're going to see today, or if you see multiple choice questions, you're usually not going to be able to stop there. So, if we want to simplify this out, that t plus 2 squared, remember we've talked about using the shortcut on that where we square, double square, because this means t plus 2 times t plus 2. So you're going to square the first, which will give you t squared. Multiply the middle together and double it. So t times 2 is 2t. Double that, you get 4t. And then square the last, which is 4. And over here, we're just distributing, so we'll get negative 4t minus 8. And this positive 4t will cancel with that negative 4t. And we'll get t squared minus 4 for that. So that is probably what we would see as the answer choice if it were multiple choice. Okay, questions? Okay. This one is going to ask us for f of g of x and then g of f of x. So if we're finding f of g of x, that means the inside g of x is being plugged into the f function. So f of g of x would be 2 times x plus 4 squared minus 7. There's a chance they may leave the answer like this. There's also a chance they may simplify that. So if they simplify that, it would look like this. We would double square this x plus 4, so we'd get x squared. X times 4 is 4. Double it, you'll get 8x. And then square the last, you'll get 16. You would need to then distribute that 2. Notice I did that squaring first, then I distributed the 2, because your order of operations tell you have to do it that way. So you'll get 2x squared plus 16x plus 32 minus 7. And that's going to give you, what, plus 25 there. Questions on that? G of f of x is different. You're going to take f, which is the inside function, right here. You're plugging it in to g. So that will look like this. 2x minus 7 plus 4 squared, which will be 2x minus 3 squared. And you can also double square on this. So 2x squared is 4x squared. If I multiply those together, I get negative 6x. I'm going to double it, which will give me negative 12x, and then square the last to get 9. And this is some of what you guys were doing yesterday, too, on that delta math, so should be somewhat familiar. Questions? Right there. All right. Okay, here is the last thing. You're going to see this on this worksheet some today, and we have not really done this. So these operations are not composition of functions. So composition of functions is either going to look like this, f of g of x, or I think I showed you the other day another way this may sometimes be written is f of g of x. It's like a little open circle right there. Or on this one, it might be written as g of f of x, like that. So that is with an open circle. Any of these that we're looking at here are not composition of functions. Even this one right here, this is f times g. If it's a closed-in circle, it's f times g, not f of g. There. So when I see something written like this, f plus g of x, what it really means is f of x plus g of x. So it's like that x goes with both of those functions. So if I'm doing f of x plus g of x, I'm adding the two equations together, not putting one inside of the other. So f of x is going to be 9 minus x. G of x is x minus 1 squared plus 3. And more than likely, you're going to see those simplified out a little bit. So if we double square our x minus 1 squared, we're going to get x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus 3, and then you'll combine like terms. So that'll give you x squared minus 3x. Then you got 9, 10, 13 plus 13. All right, something like example 7 is asking you to find h of 3 and h of 7, f of 3 and h of 7, and then subtract those two. So your f of 3 would be 9 minus 3, which would give you 6. And your h of 7 would be absolute value of 7 plus 2, which is absolute value of 9, which is just 9. So f of 3 minus h of 7 would be 6 minus 9, which would give you negative 3 as your answer. Okay, here. All right. The next ones that we've got here, this is f times g of 4. What it means when you see that is f of 4 times g of 4. So since this has a 4 instead of x, you can just go ahead and plug in that number. So f of 4 is just going to be 9 minus 4, which will give you 5. G of 4 is a little bit more complicated. You're going to have 4 minus 1 squared plus 3, which is 3 squared plus 3. So 9 plus 3 would give you 12. So f of 4 is 5. G of 4 is 12. So this is asking you to do 5 times 12, which is going to give you 60. Any questions so far? All right. And as you can imagine, sort of the pattern you're seeing here, h over f of 6 is going to be h of 6 divided by f of 6. So h of 6 would be the absolute value of 6 plus 2. Which is going to give us 8. And then f of 6 is going to be 9 minus 6, which will give us 3. And that means this expression is going to be h of 6, which is 8, over f of 6, which is 3. That won't reduce, so you would just leave 8/3 as your answer. Okay. Questions? All right. We're going to do a quiz